So before we get started, check out the following links in the description box below as highlighted in the image shown. So you'll be able to get our past papers, our link to our official website, link to accreditations, our link to donation page, and contact details in the description. So once you'll be watching a certain video of any lesson or of any past paper, you'll be able to get all these links, and you can be able to get to download past papers, to reach to our official website. You'll be able to see links to our accreditations so that you can see which authorities have accredited us. You'll be able to reach to our donation page as well as our contact details.
Welcome back to another lesson. We continue with our revision series, and in this video we are looking at a question that was done in August 2022, Fundamentals of Finance. Our question of interest is question number 2, and we begin with question number 2A. The question reads, explain 3 causes of conflicts between shareholders and external auditors. At what particular point could there be a conflict between shareholders and auditor? One, the first point, number 1, we say that colliding with management. Here you are trying colliding with management, during the performance of their duties, hence compromising their independence. Another cause is issuing misleading reports, to shareholders and general public, you issue misleading reports to shareholders and general public. Number 3, talk of failure to exercise professional care. Professional care and due diligence in performance of their duties, in the performance of their duties, and hence failing to detect errors and fraud, and frauds. So those are the 3 major conflicts between shareholders and the three major conflicts between shareholders and the external auditors. Remember, the shareholders are the owner of the company, and the external auditor is meant to report about the performance of the company. Now, part 2B read, citing 3 reasons justify the time preference value of money. Why do we have to consider time preference value of money? One, talk of inflation. Inflation. Money loses value. Money loses value with passage of time. With the passage of time. Inflation causes reduction in purchasing flour. Inflation reduces the purchasing power. Another one, talk of availability of investment opportunity. Availability of investment opportunities. In the opportunities that are there today may not be there tomorrow. So here we say that cash available today can be invested in income generating project, can be invested in income generating project, which increases the future cash flows. Increasing future cash flows. Then talk of uncertainty. Here we can take risk make individual to prefer cash today. Risk make individual to prefer cash today, as tomorrow is uncertain. Yeah. Then talk of current needs. You cannot postpone your needs. Yeah? Money available today can be used to settle various transactions. Can be used to settle current needs. So that is it about the reasons why people consider time value of money. Talking of inflation, talk of availability of investment opportunities, talk of uncertainty, and basically the current needs. You need money today so that you're able to solve the current challenges. Now let's go to question number 2C. This question reads that the following information relates to Mafula Safi Limited. The following information relates to Mafuta Safi Limited. There is purchase of raw materials on credit, usage of raw materials, sales of finished goods, cost of sales, average creditors, average raw materials, average work in progress, average finished goods, average debtors assumed at 365 days. You are told you calculate the length of operating cycle. First of all, you need to understand how to find the operating cycle. Now, let's have a solution here. Let's look at cash operating cycle. Cash operating cycle. Look at cash operating cycle. Because we need operating cycle, that means we shall look at now. Let's first of all look at raw materials holding period. Raw materials holding period. So we shall look at average raw materials. Average raw material divided by material usage. Material usage times 365. This will give you 1200 divided by, this should be 6500 times 365, and this is 67 point. So here we have 67.38 days. So then let's look at average working in progress conversion period. Average work in progress conversion period. We shall have average work in progress, average work in progress divided by production costs times 365. This will give you 1000 divided by 18,000 times 365, give you 20.28 days. Then we look at average finished goods holding period. Average finished goods holding period. Average finished good holding periods. Here you look at average finished goods. Average finished goods divided by cost of sales times 365. This gives us 2100 divided by 18,000 times 365. So this gives us 68. This is 42.58 days. Then we look at average debtors collection period. Average debtors collection period. Average data collection period. Here we are going to look at average debtors. Average debtors divided by credit sales times 365. This is 4,700 divided by 25,000 times 365. This will give us 68.62 days. This will give us 68.62 days. And finally, we look at creditors period. Creditors period. Creditors period, here we are going to look at average creditors. Average creditors divided by purchases of raw material. This will give us 1400 divided by 6700 times 365. This 76. You get here 76.27 days. Now these are the relevance calculations. Now let's ask ourselves, having found all this, then what is the overall operating cycle? That means you add all these relevant periods to get the cash operating cycle. Cash operating cycle, it is the sum here. Cash operating cycle, you get raw material, holding period, you add average work in progress conversion period, average work in progress conversion period, then you add average finished good, finished goods holding period, debtors collection period, then you minus creditors, period. So in other words, we are going to add all these, you minus the creditors. So therefore, it means we are going to have, the first one was 67.38 plus 20.28 plus 42.58 minus 76.27, and this will give you 122.59 days. That is the operating cycle. In other words, these minor small calculations I was doing here, you add all of them, you subtract the one for creditors, because the creditors means the cash is getting out. Yeah, the cash is getting out. You're looking at average of what is coming into the business. So that is it about this question. You see, this question had 20 marks, and basically the calculations part was on part C, and you are looking at the operating cycle. And we have said operating cycle means you are going to add this. You add raw materials holding period, average work in progress conversion period, average finished good holding period, average debtors period, less you also come and less the creditors period. So that is it, how we get the operating cycle. Otherwise, you are going to stop there in this video. We meet in our next video as we look at question number 3. It's a goodbye for now.
So if you like this video, you can always enroll with us. You'll be able to access more of these revision sessions, and also you'll be able to find well done lectures or pre-recorded videos for all the KASNEB courses as well as CHRP. And in case of anything, you can always reach us out. We have our contact details on the screen. Feel free to call, feel free to WhatsApp anytime. So thank you, and let's meet in our next session.